Alright, hello everybody, it's time for the big one. We're back with Fall Guys, and we've got a whole new mode, Extreme Solos Ranked. So, I've completed this. Not many people have. I've seen a lot of complaints that it is way too difficult. But is it really? I'm going to show you exactly how I beat it, and how you can beat it too, potentially. There's some things you need to ask yourself before you attempt this though. Number one, do you actually usually win Fall Guys very often? If the answer is no, this is probably not going to be the mode for you. Also, do you even really want to do this? Because this is extreme mode. If you're not aware of what extreme mode is, if you fall off the map into the slime, you're out. Not just on a final, but on any level. You're out as soon as that happens. So you really need to be super aware of yourself in this game. There are two ways you can play this. You can hang back and stay away from everyone else, or you can go as fast as you possibly can and try and get distance between you and the rest of the beans. Now, I did both in this, and both work fairly well. You've just got to be way more careful. So in big fans, for example, this is what I did sometimes. Just wait. Wait for everyone else to mess up, grab each other and fall in the slime initially, and then I can just have a nice little peaceful path through the level myself. Look at that. How good is that? I've got my own side of the map even there. So I recorded all of this over a few days. It was not easy, and it won't be easy for you either. And I'm crown rank 80, and I've played this game since the first day it came out. I'm not the best player, but I'm decent. I can do pretty well. And we're doing this all for an emote that we haven't even seen. We don't even know what this emote is. I don't even know what the reward is. Anyway, here's the first final I got in all of these. So it's really interesting, this new ranked mode. So it only goes up to gold. We don't have ace, star, and superstar like we do with the normal ranked. And this only runs for 2 weeks, so it's quite a different kind of thing. It's much more difficult. You don't get points after silver unless you actually win. So if you're not going to be winning much, just quit while you're ahead, unless you just really enjoy playing against the best beans in the game. Because this is super competitive compared to any other official mode that there has been in this game. This is more like the kind of tournaments that you'd get, where sometimes there's prize money, and the more professional players. It's not always going to be like that. It depends what kind of lobbies you get, obviously, but it's not going to be easy. So I had a good start here. I was, as you can see, the last person left on the yellow, but that doesn't always mean a whole lot, and I jumped down a little bit early here to try and secure these tiles, which is very helpful. Look how many we've got here. Absolutely great. A few people have been eliminated. I can see other people over the other side. I just have to hope that there wasn't anyone else that could get over to me. And luckily, as I was already the last one on the yellow, I knew there was no one possibly above me, and that paid off. I really like how this thing looks, and yeah, that really was my first extreme ranked game. Straight off into a win. Let's see what happens next. So into our next one, and we start off with Seesaw. As you can see here, I'm getting grabbed a lot, but luckily I was able to just kind of shrug that off. There are lots of mechanics to do with grabbing in this game. Some people say it is not possible to counter a grab, which of course it is. The other thing you've got to be really aware of in this mode is there isn't much time to get through these levels, so if you're not quick, you may still get knocked out. And look how many people we lost there. This one's back. That's right, we've got Party Promenade and Pipe Dream back into the game, and they are both in extreme ranked. I've seen a few people still have troubles with the pipes, but I've not had a single issue with them, so I just guess be careful. I mean, you can't really avoid it if something happens. But here's another tip. You can always escape out of the game as long as the eliminated message hasn't come up on the screen. If you're about to lose points because it's an early round, or even later on when you're in silver ranks and you need to get a win to get any points, as long as you quit the game before the eliminated message comes up, you won't actually lose any points. So that's definitely worth remembering, and it is definitely something which I utilized on a few occasions. So as long as you quit out of the game or press Alt F4 before you're about to lose points, even if you get stuck in pipes or have a glitch or something like that, you can definitely do that and you won't lose any points, which is very useful. There's a lot of things you can do to help you, and knowing how to grab well knowing how to joust, knowing when to move around, and generally having a good enough control over your bean and awareness to be looking always below you. At this point, I'm barely looking at what I'm doing on the yellow tiles, I'm purely looking below me. Everything else is just muscle memory at this point, and unfortunately I was just slightly too low and fell into the slime. Too low, too slow, and then the same thing happens here as well. We just didn't get enough tiles. Ouch. Into the next round here, we got big fans again. We grab someone straight away and send them into the slime. They had the shoes, they had to go. Picking out threats and knowing when to take them out before a final, very handy, because obviously, in extreme mode, you really can take people out before you get to a final. And of course that means you need to be ultra aware of your surroundings and your other beans. Next up we get a little bit of Tundra Run. This is basically a free qualifier as long as you've played this game for any kind of period of time. It's a very easy one. This is the most difficult ending you can get, really, and apart from that, easy points. Skyline Stumble, you want to be really fast if you're not holding back at the beginning here, otherwise you'll get grabbed, and just always be aware. You could get knocked off by so many things in these levels. So here we got Roll Off as our next final, the first time this had come up. Now the interesting thing about this new ranked thing is what kind of form it will take in the future. Because one of the rewards does show that this is Season 1 of this Extreme Ranked, but will it always be Extreme Ranked, or will we get different LTMs? Instead of Extreme, will it be maybe something like Button Bashers next time, or even Full Ball? Will we get different LTMs, or will it just stay as Extreme, but with different levels? It'll be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, first level that wasn't Hexagon, and we got a win. So each time we've got a final, the first time we've got it, we've got a win so far. Really nice. Do you like my little zombie? Also, we get bronze 2 from that win. Next up, we get Hexagon again, and unfortunately, it's another loss. Yep. We just didn't have as many tiles. After that, we get Pipe Dream for the first time in a long time. Nice to see this one back again. And as you can see, no problems with the pipes for me, but you can always quit if you personally have issues with getting stuck in them. Not the perfect thing to do, but hey, at least you won't lose points. For this one, you want to be careful of the end, because the only things you have are the trapeze and the pipe. If you mess up the trapeze, you just have to be ready to quit quickly, I guess. Tundra Run, this is how you finish the end of here if you're not sure on the flippers. And then we get Whirligig without spinners again. I don't know what it is about some of these weird variants we get now, but it is nice just to get a lot of different variety. I never tried taking the middle path at the end of Whirligig here. You do not need to be quick. That is a big mistake I see people making on extreme mode. You just need to qualify, which sends us to Roll Off again. Are we going to win it twice in a row? Oh, that person just actually disappeared. Watch that in slow motion here. This person just runs toward the edge of the map, and then they vanish. Maybe they disconnected. Who knows? Total mystery. Someone else goes into the slime there, and that's just me and one other player. Could I possibly get another win here? And actually, I can. The other person also jumped into the slime. So that's another roll-off victory. But before you get into trying this mode, I know it's been out for a little while now, I would not attempt it if you cannot get to the final at least 90% of the time. You're going to have a bad time. And this is even harder because it's extreme mode. So here we had roll-off for the third time in a row, got down to me and this axolotl character, and they actually, when it was getting very low on time, decided to start grabbing me. So I decided to try getting them back. But if you can see what happened there, let me just show you in slow motion here. I went to pull them into the slime, and they rubber banded. They teleported back into me and body blocked me into the slime. Yep, no win for me there. I'm gonna blame them for that one. Or physics, anyway. Next we had Hexaterrestrial here, and unfortunately everyone else went into the middle, and I messed up. Ouch, it happens. But still, even though we lost there, we did go up to Bronze 4. Next we had the Seesaw variant of this guy, which you have to be slightly careful on. Apart from that, this level is basically a free qualification. This is probably the most free level in all of Extreme Mode. It's incredibly hard to fall off of this level. Pretty much the only way it can happen, actually, is if you get knocked off of it, or if you just jump off all by yourself. But look, we've got an actual battle here between me and Avid. I think that was the name. They had a bunch of underscores in their name because they're extra cool, and we just randomly stop sliding, so they get first place. We spawn right next to them in the final. It's Crack and Slam, the first Crack and Slam. Am I going to get the same luck of a new final being a win? But I was quick to show David David underscore that was unhappy with the fact that they got first place previously. Unfair. So this guy comes over to me. You've basically got to be decent at the game to win Crack and Slam. You need to know all the mechanics, you need to be good at tentacle jumping, you need to hope you don't get ghost tentacles, you need to be good at a little bit of luck. These people, not so lucky. David is gone. Yeah. So it's just me and this guy now, and we're going to have a tentacle battle. I tried to joust them off the tile there. As you can see, diving is just as much of a weapon as grabbing. You can still body block people, but in the end, we did win that one, so the luck was still with us. First Crack and Slam, first win, which takes us from bronze 4 all the way into silver. So this is where things get much more difficult. If you don't win, you don't gain any points. So if you don't think you can get a lot of wins against extreme adversaries, this mode is not going to happen for you. Sorry. So our first one in silver, and we have got Blast Ball. Yep, you know I can't do Blast Ball. You know it's not going to happen. After that we get Big Fans. You've seen what I do. Sometimes it's worth waiting. And then we still get grabbed by a golden chicken who is waiting at the back, but we still qualified. Just be careful. Nice easy qualify from Seesaw. As long as you get out in the front pretty quick on Seesaw, you will qualify from it. It's one of those ones where you do want to be quick. Like this guy in front of me. Look, we've got a rogue speedrunner in the lobby. But again, you don't need to be that fast on this level. Although this is one where only 7 people qualify, so I still needed to be fairly quick. And then we got Blast Ball again. I'd basically already realised I probably wouldn't win any Blast Balls in this mode. However, don't be too harsh on yourself, Paul. You're not that bad at Blast Ball, as long as the entire lobby isn't targeting you, and as long as you don't get too much anxiety. I've become a little bit better at Blast Ball here, and as you can see, I was starting to actually get more of a feel for this level. And we managed to take everyone else out and get a win in it. Finally! You know how often I win Blast Ball. But that does mean we went straight from Silver 1 to Silver 2. Fantastic. 2 crowns, and once again, that's the other good thing about Extreme Mode. Wins feel so satisfying. You get 2 crowns for every win, and you're also playing against extremely good Extreme players. Awesome. Roll On, again, is a pretty free qualify, as long as you've got kind of average abilities. You should be okay on this one. Just don't put yourself in a place where people can easily grab you. There's a lot of holes in this level. That's the only thing you need to be careful of. And with full tilt, sometimes you can get a few grabs on this one. Other times, people will jump straight out of them. As I was saying earlier, there's a lot to grab mechanics. Oh, rest in peace that bean. And one of the main things is you can break free from grabs. And grabbing also has its own downsides. If you're fully grabbing someone until they automatically are released, you can't jump for a small amount of time, which is actually something you need to be very careful of on a final, or any time that you're going to need to jump. Hey look, we got really weird conveyor belts. Amazing. The other thing is you can break free from grabs. Just jump 3 times and you'll break straight out of another person's grab. Nice little first place on here. Very good. Gate crash again. Super easy level to qualify from. There's nowhere you can fall off of the level apart from right at the end. So just be quick on it. That's the only thing I would advise. So this is our first time getting Jump Showdown. Are things gonna go well? Let's see. I had to do a lot of careful jumping around on the platforms early on here, as it was very odd which ones were breaking. Luckily, other people all just get blown into the slime. The extreme mode does mean more extreme variations, which means you'll always get the fan as far as I can tell on Jump Showdown here. Now this goose was a much lower crown rank level than some of the other players, but they were still good. However, I didn't think that they had another 3 minutes in them, and I wasn't going to try timing out with the fan variation. I've done it before, but it's too risky, so I decided to just grab them and see them into the slime. I'm sorry about that, but this is silver. It's my only way to get points, and everyone is going to play like this. If you're not going to grab, you will be grabbed. It's just that kind of mode. And if you're not going to grab other players in this mode, you cannot expect to win. You'll really need luck on your side if you're not going to grab, because other people will be, and you don't just win by being passive in this mode. Sure, it'll happen occasionally, and you might be able to get some timeouts, but otherwise, the best bean will beat you. We get a happy little accident here on Slime Scraper, and I get knocked up onto the other section, and we just managed to neutral jump up the rest of the way. Completely not required, but it does get us a nice little first place. And Slime Scraper and Slime Climb, again, are pretty much free in this level, if you usually qualify them. Unfortunately, that gave us a Hexa Ring, which I messed up on big time. I totally forgot which side still had tiles, and just fell into the slime. We get another party promenade here, and this one's fairly safe. There's not too many places that people can grab you, so pretty much just easy qualifications. This person, I'm not entirely sure what they were doing. They decided to change their mind and go a different way. And again, this is punishing. You cannot afford to be too slow through these levels. You will get knocked out. There's a very fine line between how careful you are and how quick you are on these levels, which is why it is so skill-based compared to all of the other events and modes that we have had in the past. You do not have much time to mess around, but still, you can afford to take your time to a degree. Make sure you do not get eliminated by other beans. We had a really nice speedy section at the beginning here in Skyline Stumble, but so did this other bean. So we knew we had to be very aware of Cruel Fall Guy. Was there going to be anywhere I could take them out to make sure they couldn't make it to the final? Let's see. We were able to get out in front of them here, so I could still potentially get first place, but nope, they just got a slightly better flip. But again, first place just doesn't mean anything in this mode. Me and them had a little bit of a jump around on the tiles here, getting rid of them early on. But apart from that, it's just down to the Kraken. I can see you, Cruel Fall Guy. I'm aware of you. I know what you're doing. I know you're a bit of a threat. They wanted to stay near me, but the tentacle had other plans for them. Brilliant. Into the water they go. Then we had a visit from this little Monsters Inc. character. Hi. They seemed like they were going to be friendly, and then Sonic just bounced off our tile. Awesome. The thing is, you just cannot trust people's friendliness in this mode. People are going to be friendly because they're not winning, and then they're just going to push you off the map. It is not good to try and make alliances in this mode, because whatever you do, it might not work. Squidward had plans to try and push me into the slime, but I didn't get to see what happened here. Something knocked them into the water. It's another win for me, and a winning Kraken Slam. What a cool little guy. Look at all my little red ducks. So that finally takes us from Silver 3 to Silver 4. This means we only need 2 more wins. A win in Silver 4 and a win in Silver 5. And let's use some nice little grabs there to take out a threat in the level. That person had been getting first place in all the levels, and here, look, can we time out? But unfortunately that did throw me off here, and with less than 10 seconds to go, I fell into the slime. So sad. It can happen to anyone. Sometimes things just get too stressful, and then it happened again. Ghost Tentacle. You all saw that. No skill issues there. That was the Tentacle. Playing a mean game. Next up we get a speed-running pink bean. Look at this guy. So fast, so pink. I really like this costume. I haven't used this one for a little while, but it's one of my favourites. Pink Bean is not quick enough in Gate Crash, though. Look, we got a little bit of a lead on them this time. Can we beat them to the finish line? I love it when you get people who are really good at the game pretend to be bad by being a Pink Bean, and then you actually still beat them, because they're not quite good enough. Skyline Stumble. Again, we just get the fastest possible start that we can to try and take us out of the danger zone and away from grabbers, because this one can be a bit tricky. It's actually the first bit that's the only real difficult part. People that grab can't really do anything to you in any of the rest of the level. Pink Bean still steals first place though, which sends us into Blast Ball. And look, Pink Bean is acting all nonchalant here, acting like they don't even need to play the final to win it. They don't need a Blast Ball, so I just threw them off the map. There you go. Speedrunning isn't going to save you this time, buddy. Get out of here. Unfortunately, it's not going to save me either, because I'm into the slime. Oh dear. We need to win. We need to get 2 more wins. Come on. Oh, what is that? Physics, am I right? We had Treetop Tumble next, and I wanted to try out a new technique that I had in mind. I knew that you could dive slide on water now, because it's slippery everywhere. Water is basically just slime now. But I don't think it's actually any quicker. I tried dive sliding through all the water here, but you end up just sometimes getting stuck in a diving animation. It's kind of strange. Someone else got first place because of my weird experiments. Oh well. Thin Ice Final. There's just too many beans in one place. This is one of the problems with some of the finals in extreme mode. Everyone's just too good, and it's basically a coin flip at the end. I'm going to show you a really good way to avoid grabs here. This is probably the most lethal level that isn't a final. And here's your technique. Just jump on the other person's head if they can't figure out what to do. Managed to dive under this obstacle here for the first time ever. I've never done that. I was ready to quit out of the game to save my life. Oh dear, it's a tricky final. We've got Jump Showdown. I've got a person on my platform. I tried to grab them here, and I just messed up. If it was only me and them, that would have been fine, but it was too risky. I gave that win to someone else. That beam with the crown there, very rude. Look at this. Level 78, grabbing me on the flipper on Skyline Stumble. They knew that wouldn't stop me from qualifying, but that means I've got an enemy. Enemy spotted. All we got to do is get ahead of them now and maybe they wouldn't qualify, and we can take out a green bean on our way. Through to the end, absolutely no worries, first place. Then we get hoverboard heroes, which again is pretty much a free qualification. It's pretty hard to eliminate people on this level, and it's also pretty easy to not get eliminated yourself. And even at this ending, just jump, dive and grab, and you will also qualify. Remember this bean, the one that grabbed me for no reason? Yeah, they're getting knocked out because they were too slow. Look at that. That's an embarrassment for you. That gives us jump showdown next. Fantastic. I'd beaten all of the tough people in this lobby. We've just got a crown rank 11 here. We've just got to wait for the perfect opportunity to strike, and... oh, they survived. Okay. We'll just have to wait again. They were happy to try grabbing me, so the battle was on. Oh, they took themselves out. Nope, they didn't. They survived again. Oh, there we go. They're out. I swear I saw them get knocked off the map, so I genuinely let go of the controller and got knocked into the slime myself. Oh well, it's a win for a crown rank 11. Honestly, they played really well. They saved themselves 3 times in a row. They earned that crown. So as you can see, we get another gate crash here. Probably one of the easiest levels to qualify in this mode. 3 points. And you can go pretty quick on this level actually as well. Especially if you do a nice little dive at the end. Oh no, Oliver, what have you done? Big fans again here, and we've got the actual fans, as well as the fans, to help propel us to victory. Yeah, I can see you behind the finish line, Cat Bean. I know what you're doing, hiding your crown rank. Pathetic. So I had to make sure that I eliminated the Cat Bean here. I tried to grab them, it wasn't enough, so I just qualified. Nice little first place. And where are they? Oh, they didn't make it through the finish line because they were one of those beans that messes around wasting time again. You gotta be quicker. Blast Ball again. Could I possibly get another Blast Ball win after my other one? Stranger things have happened. It took a long time for anyone to get eliminated in these Blast Ball finals. Honestly, same with Roll-Off. It feels like nothing's very extreme in Roll-Off until you get about 2 or 3 minutes in, and everyone is still alive. I almost feel like it should just start off at the faster speed, although I guess then you don't have time to learn the actual shape of the map. This person grabbed me loads for absolutely no reason. It had no effect, and they did it when they were nowhere near an edge. So I decided to try taking them out. Didn't even have to do much. Someone else did most of the hard work for me. So we just got 2 beans left here. We got to start throwing all of the blast balls at them. Just got to throw the ball slightly away from them so it knocks them away from it. Would this be enough? Ooh, yes it would. Perfect. Another win, which means how many more do we need? 1. Give me that crown. Silver 4, goodbye. Silver 5 is my new best friend. 1 more win required, and we get an easy qualifier to begin with. Gate crash. Brilliant. Next up, we get a bit of full tilt, and I decide to take someone out with the help of the obstacles on the map. Such a good place to grab on full tilt there. Honestly, it's worth staying behind anyone that you think is decent and being just close enough that you can send them into one of those bouncy bollards. And look, everyone just got blown off on here, and this guy just came over and unfortunately took me out instantly. That's a shame. And then they took themselves out as well. Let's see how we do on big fans. I used my regular strategy here of just completely waiting for the other players, and some of them just jump off by themselves. Unlucky. We are through to the finish. Seesaw next. One of the riskiest levels, but again, as long as you kind of keep some distance between you and the other beans, it's not too bad. You kind of gain a 6th sense for when people are close enough to grab you, and for when to dive. Diving is a very useful kind of jump to use on this extreme level. Now I actually tried to jump up and grab this guy here, but it wasn't happening unfortunately. Funnily enough though, I still got ahead of them here somehow, and then they started wiggling about, so I took first place. After that we get Treetop Tumble, which is also free qualification. Along with Lily Leapers, there's a lot of levels in this that actually aren't really that difficult. I'd say the toughest ones to be careful on are Seesaw, maybe Skyline Stumble at the beginning. It's a little bit risky. There's just lots of grab opportunities in those levels, but these ones are all pretty fine. Oh look, it's a cat. We get Thin Ice for this one. I don't think I've actually won a Thin Ice on this yet. Interesting. Look, it's Hello Kitty. Bring Hello Kitty back. Oh, they're gone. Straight in the slime. Let's get a slow motion replay on that one. They kind of body block into me at this point. I don't know if that messed up their momentum, but the fact that this tile disappears just as they're about to land on it is pure absolute cinema. Love to see it. Now I have to figure out where I'm going on the map, where I need to go to secure my own tiles and take others away from me. This guy is over here. They didn't follow me because I guess they thought they had more tiles. The problem for them is I've got 2 stacks of 2 over here that I can make it to. Now I couldn't tell if they could make the jump over to the other islands, but it looked like too long of a jump to make, and it actually was. They slid right off that tile. They possibly could have made it with a coyote jump, but even then I don't know. And they didn't make it. So that's the last one we needed, thin ice. And this is what happens when you win them all. You go from silver 5 to gold, and that's it. That is the highest rank in this new extreme ranked mode. And as you can see, I just always made it to the final. I never managed to make a mistake that took me out of it, right? You believe me, don't you? Oh yeah. So, yeah, it's easy to make yourself look a lot better in these than you are, but sometimes you just gotta keep it real. Let's put all of these into the end credits, if you will. No one's perfect, and everyone makes real stupid mistakes, but sometimes you just get stuff like this happen. Look at this. How on earth are you supposed to deal with nonsense like that? Anyway, hope some of these tips help. Don't expect to win this mode. It's super hard. Thank you so much for watching these, for sticking with the Fall Guys. Please do subscribe if for some reason you still aren't. Leave a comment if you've got gold in this mode, and I'll see you in the next episode soon. Take it easy, everybody. Don't be too hard on yourselves on this mode. Goodbye.